There have been 300,000 tweets about Bitcoin today already. You know, that really speaks to serious commitment by the community, but there's an expert out there actually saying that it's a big pitfall for crypto. Joining me now, nbtv media tech journalist Naomi Brockwell. I want to start with this research apparently that says that the online communities and FOMO encourages Bitcoin and crypto investors to take these outsized risks, and it's actually a bad thing. Do you agree with that?
I read that article and I thought it was kind of funny because they're talking about celebrities endorsing products and how it makes people go and buy those products. It's like, yeah, that's what celebrities do. You know, they sell shoes and they sell face cream, and suddenly we're dealing with financial products and everyone loses their mind. They're like, how dare you sell this financial product to me? I mean, I don't see people get outraged about, making financial mistakes when they buy a pair of shoes and they're like, well, this famous person looks great in those shoes and I didn't look as great, therefore I'm outraged that this person encouraged me to buy these shoes. Financial investment, it's a really tricky area. For a long time the government has been a backstop, and people are used to the government being a backstop. They're used to the government stepping in and protecting us from our financial decisions, and that's not what crypto is about.
Right.
Crypto is about financial freedom. It's about suddenly anyone being able to get opportunities, investment opportunities, not just accredited investors, not just people who already have money to invest. And I think people are getting their feet wet and learning that when you take responsibility for your financial decisions, it means that you may lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've always been a proponent of don't invest more than you're willing to lose in new markets that are still trying to find their way and are really on the cutting edge. And I think that what we're seeing with a lot of this, like disasters that have happened recently, it's all with centralized third parties.
Well, let me
That's
jump
not
in
the
here,
value
then,
proposition
Naomi,
of crypto.
because you just touched on something I got to ask about. I get a lot of feedback on that tornado cash thing, right? I know some of that money was being used to launder stolen funds. At one point, the guy who founded it was on the lam. But I read what you said. You think the authorities are actually using it as an excuse to punish the whole DeFi movement instead of stopping criminals, right?
Absolutely. If you actually look at the use case of Tornado Cash, the overwhelming majority of funds put through there is for DeFi. It's for people who are just spending their money and they don't actually want a transaction history of everything that's in their wallet to be public on a blockchain. People may not understand that a lot of cryptocurrencies out there, they have these public ledgers. You make a transaction, you can actually trace the history of that transaction through and see how much money is in people's wallets. People don't like that. They want, the same privacy that cash affords people. When I spend cash at a grocery store, the grocer doesn't know how much money is left in my wallet. But with crypto, you need to use something like Tornado Cash in order to obfuscate those funds. And I think it was like 10%. It was like a tiny amount was actually used for criminal activity. The government swoops in and this is actually a precedent-setting case because they're not just going after property of individuals and sanctioning the individuals. They've sanctioned decentralized code that's running on computers all over the world, addresses that aren't controlled by anyone. They're censoring technology here.
Real quick then, you've been a real big advocate of privacy. How important is that? Is that part and parcel in your mind then of this DeFi revolution?
Absolutely. I think that what we've learned in this is that if the government can target addresses that are open and public, then they will. And so if you actually want true financial freedom, you have to go for something that has privacy at the base layer. You have to go for something that, like Zcash or one of these coins that actually prioritizes privacy for the individual.
Naomi, thank you very much. And congratulations. You are really starting to blow up here, as you should. All right, folks, I want to take a look at...
Thanks so much, Charles.